When it comes to movies and TV shows, there's nothing more important than the relationship between characters. That's what fuels the drama, the entertainment, and gives us all the feels. Without the chemistry, there would be nothing. Some on-screen duos look so tight that you automatically assume that they're BFFs in real life, but some of the time, it simply isn't so. Join us as we take a look at 10 famous co-stars who could not stand each other off camera. You might be surprised at what we found. The chemistry was so palpable between these two in Dirty Dancing that it seems impossible to think that they didn't get along. The iconic movie propelled SWAYZE into heights of fame, but Gray's career never really took off. Still, they both managed to put in incredible performances that saw them become one of the most famous on-screen couples of all time. Considering they were so intimate in the movie, you would think that the pair would have to be at least friendly to get through the scenes. However, in this biography of The Time of My Life, Patrick revealed that Gray was often difficult to understand. SWAYZE admitted, quote, "We did have a few moments of friction when we were tired or after a long day of shooting," going on to say that his co-star would often go into childlike tantrums, crying so much that the entire scenes would have to be shot multiple times. Sure, they may not have been at each other's throats constantly, but they certainly weren't as tight as it seemed. Although these two weren't co-stars in the strictest sense, they did appear side by side as judges on the 12th season of American Idol. Carey is known for her diva behavior, and Nicki Minaj isn't known for holding her tongue. Should we remind you of the drama last year revolving around Nicki and Cardi B, which culminated into a physical altercation? Similarly, these are two fiery women, so they butted heads from the beginning. Minaj and Carey were both newbies on the panel, both trying to assert their dominance over the other. Not only did they constantly disagree throughout the entire process, but it was clear that they just didn't get on. It made for uncomfortable viewing, and audiences couldn't get down with it. TMZ also got a hold of some leaked footage in which Minaj said, quote, "If I had a gun, I would shoot her." Carey responded that Minaj's comments made her feel unsafe at work. Neither star returned for the 13th season, unsurprisingly. Michele and NAYA Rivera both shot to fame playing the all-singing, all-dancing teens in the hit musical show Glee. Michele played the part of highly strung good girl Rachel Berry, while Rivera played raunchy cheerleader Santana Lopez. Both characters were polar opposites personality-wise, and it was exactly the same in real life. In her biography, Rivera addressed the rumors of a feud, admitting that it was true, but a tad overblown by the press. "We were both strong-willed and competitive," she explained. "Not just with one another, but with everyone, and that's just not a good mixture." While that might sound diplomatic, Rivera went on to say that Michele didn't like it when her character started getting more prominent storylines. According to the 32-year-old, things got so bad between them off-screen that Michele stopped speaking to her entirely outside of the scenes. "It sounds pretty bad to us, so we can't work out what was blown out of proportion. We just feel sorry for the rest of the cast having to deal with all of that tension in the air." Say it ain't so. Not Samantha and Carey. Sorry to burst your bubble, Sex and the City fans, but these guys are probably two of the most notorious frenemies out there. In fact, they surpassed the point of frenemy somewhere around the second movie and are now just fully fledged enemies. They say you should never ask what a coworker earns, but CATTRALL did. When she discovered that Parker was making double what the rest of the show's stars were earning, things started to deteriorate quicker than you can say Mr. Big. Despite the pair publicly denying that things were wrong, and in some cases telling the media that they loved and respected one another, things came to a head in 2017. The other three women wanted to do a third movie, but CATTRALL said no. In an interview, the actress said, "This is really where I take to task the people from the show, and especially Sarah Jessica Parker. I think she could have been nicer. I don't know what her issue is." Ouch. Ugly Betty fans have forgotten this duo shared some precious screen time together, but it happened, although it was supposed to last a little longer than it did. America Ferrera played a title role in the series, making the character of Betty entirely her own. Fans loved the show, the over-the-top drama, and the satirical way it portrayed the fashion industry. It was always a little ludicrous, so when Lindsay Lohan showed up for a 6-episode arc, no one batted an eyelid. At this point in 2008, Lohan was already struggling to get work as her public image deteriorated. Most actresses would grab at an opportunity to get themselves back on the map with both hands, but Lindsay just couldn't behave herself. Both the crew and Ferrera began to get frustrated with the star's diva attitude, which often led to heated confrontations. Lohan would arrive on set with a hefty entourage, smoking like a chimney and generally being obnoxious. Life became so unbearable that her contract was terminated early, and she only appeared in 4 of the 6 episodes. Let's face it, Lohan was already on the path to self-destruction at that point, and it was never going to end well. The Fresh Prince of Bel-Air was the epitome of 90s television. Everyone loved it. It launched the career of superstar Hollywood actor Will Smith, and most importantly, gifted audience with a timeless classic. To this day, reruns of the series are still frequently aired. The family life of the Banks' household was far from harmonious, but it was always clear that the characters had a huge amount of love for each other. Most of the cast got along just fine too, except for Smith and the original Aunt Viv, Janet Hubert. Hubert left the series after season 3, apparently due to constant clashes with Smith. Addressing the controversy at the time, the Independence Day actor told a radio station that he knew Hubert was going to slate him to the press and that she wouldn't let it slide, even though he didn't really do anything wrong at all. According to him, Hubert was just mad that he was a young and up-and-comer that got his own show. Meanwhile, she had been in the industry for 10 years with no such luck. On the flip side, Hubert would later tell Black America Web that Smith orchestrated her firing. According to her, Will used to tell racist jokes about dark-skinned women before she came out to film her scenes. She had more words to say about the actor in 2011, calling him an egomaniac that never grew up. This feud is anything but fresh, but it doesn't seem like it'll end anytime soon. Kiefer Sutherland was pulled back from the edge of obscurity when he landed the lead role in 24. The series went down a storm and is still an audience favorite today, but that doesn't mean making it was always a great experience. No one was more vocal about the on-set difficulties than Season 8 star Freddie Prinze Jr. When talking to ABC News and promoting a different series, the Scooby-Doo actor was very honest about his feelings toward his co-star Kiefer Sutherland. "I did 24, it was terrible," he said, going on to explain that it almost made him quit acting altogether. Prinze bashed the Lost Boys actor for being unprofessional and even took a swipe at his height. "I went and worked for Vince McMahon at WWE for Christ's sake," elaborated the star, "but at least he was cool and tall. I didn't have to take my shoes off to do scenes with him, which they made me do for 24. Just put the guy on an apple box, or don't hire me next time. You know I'm 6 foot and he's 5'4". Yep, he went there. Don't expect these two to grab a cup of coffee anytime soon. Kiefer probably couldn't reach it anyway. These two incredible actresses were powerhouses in their own right. Revered as two of the founding women of Hollywood, they were both supremely talented. In their heyday, they were hot property. Their rivalry became so famous that it spawned a 2017 series based on the pair's relationships starring Susan Sarandon and Jessica Lange called Feuds. The long-running battle lasted for literally decades, apparently starting in the early 30s when Davis landed her first starring role. Davis's nose was put out of joint when Crawford, a Hollywood vet, announced her divorce at the same time she was trying to promote her movie X-Lady. We can't possibly go into everything that went on between these two here, but trust us when we say it was a lot. By the time they starred together in the 1962 movie Whatever Happened to Baby Jane to help their ailing careers, they had been at loggerheads for over 30 years. The filming set was definitely a tense environment. Davis reportedly kicked Crawford in the head so hard that she had to have stitches. Davis famously said of her co-star, "The best time I ever had with Joan Crawford was when I pushed her down the stairs in Whatever Happened to Baby Jane." Ryan Gosling and Rachel McAdams won us over with their heartbreaking portrayals of Noah and Allie in The Notebook. We challenge even the coldest of hearts to watch that movie and not be moved to tears. It doesn't make you any less cool, we promise. The characters loved each other wholeheartedly, but the actors did not hit it off. Gosling became so frustrated with McAdams that he even begged the movie's director to replace her with a different actress. The feeling was mutual though, with the Mean Girls star equally annoyed with Gosling's attitude. The pair managed to hash it out and eventually wrap the movie up, but there may have been a pretty simple explanation for the tension. They ended up dating for 4 years afterward, so perhaps it was all coming from misplaced feelings for each other. Isn't it like the grown-up version of a boy punching a girl on the playground, and adults are saying, "Oh, it's because he likes her"? It's easy to forget that pop sensation Ariana Grande started out acting in Nickelodeon show Victorious. The series focused on two BFFs, Grande's character Kat and Tori, played by Victoria Justice. Victoria and Ariana had a pretty good relationship when working together, but things quickly soured when the show was canceled after just 4 seasons. Grande sent out a tweet implying that Justice was the one who effectively ended the show because she chose to go on a solo tour. The proposed plan was a cast tour, which would have seen the network order another season. Could you say that justice was served? Justice responded with an equally salty broadcast on Twitter, telling her followers, "Some people throw someone they consider a good friend under the bus just to make themselves look good." And that was the end of that. Did we shatter your dreams and break your hearts? Sorry about that. Do you know of any celeb drama that we don't? Let us know in the comments. You know we love to get that dirt. Hit the subscribe button so you don't miss out, and give this video a thumbs up. Until next time, thanks for watching.